The Spiritual Tea presents Divinely Matched, and this is your host, Hathor Sekhmet, and I have a guest, Christina Rose, with me, and we're going to be talking about her love journey and why she decided to get a love compatibility reading, which was recorded. You can also get it in video chat, but this is a great thing that you should get before you get into a relationship. And I wanted to finally talk to one of my clients. She's a longtime client and student, talk with her about love and compatibility and just love and how we go through a lot of different cycles and different things happen. But we want to understand how we can have a better understanding of finding that one. And a lot of times, a lot of people forget that spirituality is key to finding your mate. And we kind of go through it blindly. So I wanted to ask her a few questions so it could help somebody else because congratulations, you just got engaged. Yeah, show it off. She is showing it off. And I don't blame her because this is a beautiful thing that doesn't happen to everybody. A lot of times people leave this earth and never got married, never had a wedding, never experienced a proposal. And I'm not saying that everybody's set up to have that, but there's something special about Christina. She is a portal child, and we're recording this on a portal day, 1010, and she's 9-9, which actually means sometimes that you're supposed to be alone. And I sometimes say you want to thug it out and be by yourself. And she's gone through a lot. I'm going to let her go into some of some of what's going on with her and her love journey. And just tell us a little bit about yourself, Christina, and why you chose to actually get the reading before, the relationship.
Right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Christina Rose. I'm many things, but an entrepreneur at the core. I'm very creative. I've been doing hair for about 14 years, and I have a health and wellness business now. So just running those things and just trying to go to the next level of each thing. I wanted to get a reading done because I've gotten many by her before because I trust her. Um, I was gonna go into the history, but
You
um,
can if you want
I,
to. I mean,
I,
it's up
I
to you.
yeah. So with my very first real actual relationship, I would say with a man I that I had a child with. She was there at the end of that relationship, and she really helped me understand everything that happened in that relationship and why it needed to end. And so I really appreciate her guidance and her mentorship and during that time because I really needed it. So ever since then, I've just been getting readings in the process of dating and also just for spiritual enlightenment and just understanding myself better and being the best I could be,
Right.
um, choosing the best partner, So
So
this last
important.
one, I wanted to get a reading done because I had a deep feeling like, okay, this guy he's amazing,
He's the one.
He's the one. He's for sure the one, and it's just been gotten better and better. And I just ended a relationship with someone, and we were together for the same amount of time that I've been talking to my now fiance.
Wow.
Um, and it's too like light and day,
Right.
The relationship that I was in, it was good the first month, and then after that first month, it just went downhill. I wasn't
Honeymoon phase.
yeah, I wasn't getting any of my needs met at all. Like it just stopped because his life changed. And so it's really, I feel like that relationship kind of segued into this one on purpose. So when I was ready to let that go, I got my person.
A door open because there was a block. And a lot of times in relationships, we don't realize that we're holding up because we're holding on. And
Yes.
there's a door that could actually open for you, but you're so scared because it's almost like you get familiar with that person, the routine, the habits, where you don't want to open the door to anybody else. So I'm so glad that you actually were like, okay, let's try something different. Because I will say this about you, I've seen you go in patterns, and a
Oh,
lot of my
I,
client
I
will have where they like to be with a particular a sign. They keep messing with the same sign, or they have the same type of facial features. And
yeah
I do sexual compatibility and love compatibility with looking at the features of the face for matchmaking. And I would notice sometimes you would have the same face, and I'm like, here she go again. But this one, the one that proposed, Mike, yeah,
yeah
he was different because some similarities, but a lot different,
yeah
especially the ears.
the,
So
yeah
that was
yeah
a big sign that I was like, he might just be that person. So
yeah
I wanted to ask you, like, where, like, what was the key points that you remember during the session that gave you some clarity to like how you were maneuvering the relationship? Because it was like you were coming back to me and telling me like, oh, he did this, or this happened. So I want you to kind of get into how it helped you to kind of like deal with the relationship after you got the reading. How were you going to move forward with everything?
yeah so the reading was spot on, like
Mm.
to the T, to the very T. And I've gotten readings done and I didn't listen. I mean I listened, but I kind of ignored some of those things. But with this reading, like I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm trying to do the right way this time. I I was called to, show up the way I needed to show up to stay in
Mm.
the relationship and not sabotage it. So, yeah, so that was a big one. But yeah, everything in the reading, I would say the key points was communication. I've always
Mm-hmm.
needed communication, and we do come from different backgrounds. He's
Yeah.
from Kenya in Africa, so we come from totally different continents, different languages, but he knows English. He knows it better than I do. So
Check it out.
he's a he's a great communicator, and I'm starting to learn Swahili so that we can have our communication a lot better. Because although he does know the English terms, it does take him a minute to find the right words to say to express how he feels or
So you're
how.
trying to meet him halfway, and
Yes,
with that, you
yes,
know, yeah, that's important that you meet
yeah,
somebody halfway, and just know how to navigate in a relationship because you could go in it totally blind and
yeah,
not know that those are the things that kind of could hinder the relationship from moving forward or progressing. A lot of times we hit those bumps in the road and we're like, what's wrong? Why is this not working? um
right,
I really don't know this person anymore because like you said, we go through that honeymoon phase where everything feels good and that
yeah,
person puts on the representative. But what happens after the honeymoon phase and the representative is gone? But
right.
want to figure that out, and we don't always go to somebody who's spiritual or somebody who's like an advisor, and we just go by our own way. And sometimes we luck out and it really is a good relationship, but a lot of times we end up hitting those pitfalls. And
Right.
I just want to know a little bit about your love journey and like what is now your perspective of how you're going to go into this relationship, because like you said, you had a lot of relationships where you felt like you sabotaged it. Like in what ways did you feel like you sabotaged them, and what ways in this relationship have you changed that behavior of sabotage?
I would say my sabotage stems from childhood trauma,
Mm-hmm.
abandonment wound. So I would often, as even though my numbers says that I need space and I do
Mm-hmm.
well alone,
Mm-hmm.
I was operating from trauma. And like being in this relationship now, I realized like, oh, actually, I don't need as much as I thought I needed from all of my past partners. I just need reassurance
Mm-hmm.
and good communication. But we are long distance and I only see him once or twice a week. And in my last relationship, I was the same exact thing, but light and day. Like I only saw him after that first month, I only saw him once or twice a week because of
Mm-hmm.
his schedule. busy, but we had poor communication. So I didn't
Mhm.
feel assured, I didn't feel secure. But I think
Right.
with this one I had to go inward. I had to
Mm.
look at myself in the mirror and see how I'm the common denominator in my experiences. And I had to take responsibility for how I feel. I had to take responsibility for the experiences that I've had and how it shaped the way that I was perceiving life. So after I got that clarity on how to operate in a relationship and what to expect, I was able to deal with my emotions with myself,
Mhm.
and then be able to communicate it clearly to my partner. And
Mhm.
him having those ears, he's able to hear everything I said,
Right.
and he showed up right away. So, it's not like he wasn't doing anything wrong. But I
Mhm.
needed to communicate the things that I was expecting or the things that I wanted from him for a relationship. Like if you want to be in a relationship with me, you're going to have good communication. I'm going to need quality time, and I am a priority. So I want you to
Mm.
prioritize me. So once I
That's
got
different.
that out, like once I'm in that space, I manifested it, and he showed up right away, and I'll have like, there was like the week after I presented all this to him, he showed up that week, that day, you know, and explained to me what he wanted. He wanted a life partner. He wasn't really trying to get married. He didn't want to do a legal marriage.
No, that's what we were talking about at first. That's why I was shocked. I was like,
Exactly, exactly. So I changed a lot for him. He wasn't going to stay in the States. He was going to go back after school.
really?
His whole life changed because he chose me. So
Right.
he
And,
found he
and,
found
and,
his person.
and you chose him in that way because you set up those boundaries like these are my boundaries. This is what I'm gonna accept, but I'm still gonna meet you halfway. And you both talked about those boundaries. And I remember telling you like state what you want, be clear, and stay in your ground on those things.
Yes.
And a lot of times in relationships, we don't even come into the relationship. We start creating as we go. And
Yeah.
a man needs to see that what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. And it's not
Right.
to be per se a bitch, but it's just you've been through a lot. And we both know each other's story because you've been around for a very long time. And
Yeah.
to see you go through this and see you is definitely seeing you very clear, very grounded, even in your face, just showing a glow like, I got this. I got myself together. Like business wise,
Yeah.
I see you grow and you've always been good with business, but the relationships are always went up and down of you really feeling like you found that one to going back into a cycle. But this one, and like now blossoming into the engagement is something really major for you. That's why I was like, I have to do this. And when she said I'll do a voice record, I was like, how about an
Let's do
interview?
it. I
Because
was
this
like,
might be starting something for Divinely Matched and something that I really love and I'm great at doing is love and compatibility, spiritual sessions, being a spiritual matchmaker. But it's
yeah.
very hard to actually get people to tell their story and not feel fearful like yes I got help because a lot of us need to get help. And my
Yeah.
next question, I really feel like you already answered it, and it was just like after the love and compatibility reading, what did the awareness of the relationship bring to how you feel and think and engage with your partner? And I feel like you really are open with your partner, but I'm gonna let you get into more of that of how are
I
y'all
I
feel.
would say like this is the very, and I'm gonna like cry, but this is like the very first relationship, man, that I've felt I can be honest with 100%, not hiding any parts of myself. He doesn't allow me to hide any parts of myself. He doesn't, like I'm able to be emotional with him,
Mhm.
even though I know, they're mine. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's like, cry, he's like, do this, do that, like get it out. He's been like healing. very like it's been a healing experience just being with him, just being around him without the title even too before that. So I would say that I I am open. My heart's open. I feel like my heart is like actually healed from my
Yeah.
trauma. You know, like I know it's a work in progress, but I've just been on cloud nine, and I plan on staying here, and riding the wave of the high vibrations, and just treating myself better, because he's a reflection of that.
So, do you have a date? Do you have a date for the
No,
wedding?
we don't have a date yet,
Okay.
but it's in the works. We're gonna be having two weddings. So yeah,
Really?
we're
So
gonna have one
one
in
in
and
okay.
Virginia.
Oh,
Yes.
that's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
I hope to
Yeah.
be the one in the States. I would love
Yeah.
to be there.
I
I,
would
I
definitely
will travel for that. I will find my way out to Arizona. I don't know. It's been a while, but I don't know if it's gonna
yeah.
be there, but I'm gonna
It
find a way
most
to
likely
be there.
will. I'm
Okay.
thinking it might be in Sedona. So yeah.
Oh,
He lives
I
in
love
Prescott.
Sedona.
Yeah, he lives in Prescott. He goes to school in Prescott. So
Okay.
I've always loved Sedona.
Yes, Sedona's
And I
beautiful.
think just keeping it, home base would be great.
That's gonna be mystical and enchanted, and there's so many portals. So it's going to
Yeah.
be definitely a very blessed wedding. So looking at your past and now looking at your past relationships and now going into this future, how do you see you going about this relationship and everything? Um,
Um, just to touch on like the past, like I am in complete gratitude for every relationship that I've ever been in, good,
mm,
bad, or rocky or not, just every every space that I've been in to this point, I am completely grateful for. Because
mm,
if I didn't have that, I would not have the tools that I need to continue my life and really know my worth. And
mm,
I think that was my biggest lesson is to know my worth and to self master, and which you've told me many times. So,
mm,
um, that being said, it laid the groundwork for everything that's going to be happening from here on out. Like I've always saw my life as going to be great, but now I know it's going to be great. It's not something that like dreaming is great, but like I know.
right. You're
I
manifesting it.
I know that my trajectory is great, and I've been in low vibrations. I've been in low
Mhm.
states, and my emotions have been really in dark places, as far as feeling,
This
you
is the
know.
longest I've
So
seen your hair too.
what'd you say?
This is the longest I've seen your
Oh
hair.
yeah. I'm not cutting it off, I'm growing it out.
You
It's
know, that was
pretty
a
long.
cycle I was seeing. She would do this chop off, and I'd be like, "Uh-oh, Christina
Right.
is
Like
in that cycle." So I would just sit back
I
and be
had
like, "I'm just gonna wait until she gets through it. She might say something, but this is the
right.
longest I've seen your hair. It's so
I've been
beautiful."
hearing it a lot from a lot of people, and I used to have my hair long when I was a kid, but after a certain age I was just discovering things and letting go of a lot
Right,
of things, and
right.
that was my hair as well. But yeah, I just, I'm just in a really good space in my life, and I really got to learn the difference, like that duality. And
Mm,
my chart is full of duality.
yes, it
You
is.
Libra sun, Pisces moon, Gemini rising. So I have a lot of duality, and I'm still learning, but I've learned the differences between those two. And now it's like a choice. I
Mhm.
choose to have be in a high vibration for the rest of my life,
And
like, because I see the benefits of it.
that's where you attract the right
Yeah.
mate. Sometimes you keep on getting the cycle and the repeat, and it's that person in a different body, but he's the same person. And
Yes.
male or female, we go through that all the time where we start to we go into those cycles of those patterns. And it's because we haven't elevated our spirit. And even for myself, kept on attracting certain men that had the same type of mindset to finally attracted somebody who's different that will work with me. You know it. You feel it when it's right.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that you came to me.
Yes.
Just like, check him out. Because sometimes you'll hide them. I know a lot of my clients don't hide them. Like, I don't want her to see this one because I know he bad. But I like him so much for many different reasons. And I just be like,
Right.
I'm shutting up. I'm minding my business because I know that that is the love journey to really finding your mate and
Yeah.
finding that one, whether it end in, whether it, blossom. I don't want to say end, but blossom into an engagement, a wedding, or you just life partners, whatever happens, just as long as the boundaries are set and that everybody's happy in the relationship. And as a portal
Yes.
child, you're supposed to have two more, so I'm hoping that there's two more babies so you could fulfill that soul contract that we were talking about with her 9-9. Um, it blossoms out into a reading where I can intuit the numbers and I'm able to look at what you need to do throughout your life. And for her, she already has the business. Portal people or what we call portal children need the business, they need the marriage, and then they need the children. So the middle child, Christina, already has a son. She needs two more because the middle child is going to be the one that may end up being like you, very creative with their hands, doing
I
some, the arts.
yeah.
That's going to give them you and Mike will give them what they need, and I'm so looking forward to all
We've been we've been talking about it. He's been wanting kid. He's been wanting babies from me since I met him. So
that's a
he
good sign.
since I met him, okay, the first day. So yeah, he's definitely he's ready to be a father. Like, and it's a beautiful thing to see, his readiness, his ability to do that as well. He's a great leader. And I already know, like I have a feeling I am gonna have another little me, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna probably have a
be a
girl.
girl for sure.
So I think I think it's gonna be a girl, the first one, with him. And yeah, it's going good. We might have more than two.
All right.
So I'm just open, I'm open. So, he wants five. So we'll see.
You can try to get up there with me now. That's
Right. We
what
will see.
I
I don't
said. We'll
know.
see.
Like,
You having a tribe. Tribe is always good. It's always good to have
yeah.
a tribe. And you can see me with my tribe, so you done seen them grow up. So I would love to see that with you.
I
Yeah.
I think I'm feel ready for that. I haven't felt ready for that because of all the things I was holding on to, and just had to align with my partner to feel that safe to do that with, because I wasn't going to have another child without having that sense of security and knowing that no matter what, they were going to be a good father. So I'm here.
So happy that women are taking those boundaries of I need a marriage. I need things to really feel right before I have a child. Some women have children to keep the relationship together, and that's a no-no. And a lot of us are finally learning how to go about relationships where we actually feel like we're not on the losing end of the stick of things, because a lot of times people will have those children and just be in terrible situations. And we don't want to do that. I tell my children now, like, pick a good partner because that's long term. That's for a very long time. You still there, Christina? I think she paused.
Oh,
There she is. I was like, oh, she paused up. So that's probably the cue of we need to wrap this up. And I'm just thankful that you came on here and you shared a bit of your story. And there's nothing but love and blessings to the family. And congratulations again. Hope to be there for the wedding and that, everything go in your favor. And I believe it will. I definitely believe it will.
oh
Because
yeah, we both do. We both know that it's going to be great. because
Yeah.
it already is. So yeah.
So this is the end of well, I hope more to come, but first episode of Divinely Matched with Christina, and this was presented by the Spiritual Tea Report, and you can find me on TikTok and many other social media apps, and this should probably be on YouTube as well. So check it out, and peace.